realize that. And many of us, are a little different than other people. There are those that just accept the normative. They just become good, whatever, Jews, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, whatever, and follow the line. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can actually be a very good, positive influence in this world living that way. But there are those of us, and there's, like I said, this is not a matter of fact, this is probably more of a curse, that are just not settled with the normality of things. In other words, you just can't settle with sitting in the church pew. You can't just settle being in the mosque or the synagogue or whatever, because you know there's more out there. And when you...
Hey Mike, how are you, my friend? I definitely agree with this statement. It's definitely more of a curse than a blessing. Sometimes I find myself constantly asking myself, why? Why couldn't I remain ignorant? I remember that character in Matrix who said that ignorance is bliss. But I also remember Mr. Morpheus talking to Mr. Anderson. But let us watch that insert from the movie together.
Do you believe in fate, Neo?
No,
Why not?
because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me.
Of course, the decision to take the red pill is a decision that brings trouble. Because when a person wakes up, he begins to ask questions. He is more difficult to control and has constant attacks. Then the system uses everything to return him to the vault of ignorance, to the comfort zone where supposed ignorance is bliss. Then the system is ready to attack with all possible means, and usually it is the family, friends, and finances.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy.
As we can notice, dear friend, the system is against us. It is our enemy, because it wants to control, and it achieves this control through people, normal people. But what is left out here is religion. Most of the control is through religion, blind belief without any question. People like this need to be saved from slavery to the system, but they are not ready for this, except for the small few you mentioned. But until they wake up, they are the first soldiers of the system to fight against you and try to make your life miserable.
You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
I was...
Look again.
When you look at the four examples that that the world's most familiar with, which would be Jesus, Moses, Buddha, and Odin, we think about four individuals, four myths, four real people, who knows, who actually were born into situations and they changed because of their thirst of knowledge and understanding and wanting to spread the truth. In other words, Moses was he was in the court of Pharaoh. He would have probably been a great leader one day. He gave it up. Jesus, depending on the history that you understand, probably would have had a good normal life, but he gave it up to give his message. And Buddha, inside the kingdom, came out, saw old people because his daddy protected him, and it blew his mind, and it set him on the search for where he ended up. And then, of course, who else did I say? Odin. Could have been just a great, warrior god and everything, but no, he had a thirst for knowledge, and he gave up everything for knowledge. And I think that's one thing that in today's world that is missing is a passion.
Of course, Mike, passion and love, that is so strong that nothing else is more important than that love, not even your own life. These mentioned people, whether they are myth or not, the story that is their trace actually explains the reason for their influence on people, and that self-sacrifice is what makes them special. Of course, today everything is more important to people than spirituality, and unfortunately, there are few who are ready to step out of their comfort zone and take such a big step. And many, after they wake up and start asking questions, after the first troubles of the gatekeepers, return to sleep and ignorance. Their comfort zone is better. while others, realizing that questions lead to doubts about certain established dogmas, leave everything behind because of a little darkness. They throw the lamps with light away and wander in darkness. These are the two extremes that we need to avoid. The task of the Guardians is to put us back to sleep, and nothing but trouble can be expected. Also in the Matrix, where the Archons rule, all the lights shine in the darkness, and without darkness there is no light. So the only way is to separate the light from the darkness, and the light can be found everywhere if we don't let the ego rule us. So let's be wise, brave, and ready to sacrifice everything for the attainment of knowledge. And remember, it is not who writes, but what is written, not who says, but what was said.